Hey, what is up, guys? I am going to be giving you a 3-in-1 video. It's going to be 3 reviews of wrestling. I tried to save up on videos. My 300th video will be coming out tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be at nighttime or morning, probably like around afternoonish time. But anyways, let's just get right into it. I am going to be giving you my main event review, TNA review, and Smackdown review all in one video. Figured I'd do it this way because I had to kind of cut down on videos for a little bit, but now I'm here to stay. So let's just get right into the reviews. So I guess I could start with main events, and that's what came on first. And this main event happened on June 12th, 2013. And we got Wade Barrett and Josh Matthews on commentary. And I actually liked Wade Barrett on commentary. He did a pretty good job. It was better than Ricardo Rodriguez on commentary. I liked Wade Barrett on commentary. But it's not. But they put Wade Barrett probably on commentary because the first match was The Miz versus Cody Rhodes, and during this it shows a payback ad. I don't remember which one it was. This actually was a pretty good match here. Miz takes control pretty well. He has a flying axe handle off the apron, right onto Cody Rhodes, and then Cody Rhodes ends up looking at the shoulder when he slams it into the post against Miz, and then he walks over the shoulder, and then Miz starts to come back. He gets Cody in the figure four when he goes to kick him in the head, and that was the match. So Miz, because Miz made Cody Rhodes tap to the figure four leg block, so that was pretty much it. So then we get Damian Sandow backstage. He's heading to his match. WWEshop.com ad. Hypes up the Father's Day stuff. And then we get CM Punk video package. I actually liked it. I don't think it showed this on Raw. I actually liked his video package. It pretty much showed him cutting that pipe bomb promo he cut that really made him kind of a star. And then it kind of showed like all the stuff that doing it, and and it even showed him with the World Heavyweight Championship, the ECW Championship. I don't think it showed him winning the Intercontinental Championship, but it didn't show him winning the World. But it showed pretty much everything that he's done, and it showed like one of his first promos he's ever cut in the WWE, when it's like, I'm straight, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. So I really liked this video package. It was very well put together. And then we get Damian Sandow versus Sin Cara, and doing this, it shows a payback ad. Damian Sandow says that that obviously his message verbally to become more intellectual isn't getting through you, so I am going to use it physically now, and it starts tonight, and it's gonna kick off at Payback kickoff against Sheamus. Sin Cara and Sandow had a pretty good match here. Sin Cara does all his high flying moves. Sandow doesn't. He misses a swanton, and then Sandow hits that sit down rock bottom for the win. Probably still gonna lose at the pay per view though. Main event ad shows the Miz doing it. Then it shows the John Cena and Ryback build up. Then for the main event we get tons of funk, which is Brodus Clay and Sweet Tea with the Funkadactyls versus the Usos, which is Jimmy and Jay Uso. At first I was kind of iffy about this match because I thought they were just gonna bury the Usos. They were gonna send them right down the toilet because right kind of when the beginning of the match happened, Brodus Clay hit the T-bone suplex on one of the Usos and then hit the splash, and I thought they were just gonna send the Usos down the river, but one of the Usos the other Uso broke it up, and then they both another Uso gave a Samoan drop to Sweet Tea and gave the double super kicks to Brodus Clay and one of the Usos did the splash to pin for the win. So I really like what they're doing with the Usos. They're making them beat all these tag teams, and I think eventually they're gonna finally face Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns for those tag team championships. So I really like what they're doing with that. So then now I'm going to be covering TNA for June 13th, 2013. We get Taz and Mike Tenay on commentary. It tells you what happened last week with the Bound for Glory series stuff, the Aces and Eights stuff, and oh, that's kind of embarrassing. I'll just use this right here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Anyways, it talks about the Aces and Eights stuff, the Brooke Hogan stuff, and Bound for Glory series. So I thought that was a nice touch. And then we get a Hulk Hogan promo. He says after what's been going on with him and his daughter lately, he asked her to stay home this week, and he announces two participants that are going to be in the Bound for Glory series that won it the past 2 years. It's Jeff Hardy, and he says that first he introduces Jeff Hardy, and Jeff Hardy says that he wants some payback on Aces and Eights for taking him out, so he's going to win the Bound for Glory series again and head into San Diego Bound for Glory to win the World Heavyweight Championship. And then Bobby Roode comes out. He says he doesn't need an introduction, and that he was the longest reigning World Heavyweight Champion and the only one. And he won the first Bound for Glory series, and he's undefeated in it, and he's going to win it again this year. And then Hogan announces that TNA fans, I think this is probably rigged, can vote, because next week's open fight night, so they can vote who gets the first call out, Jeff Hardy or Bobby Roode. Jeff Hardy says that if he gets voted, he's going to call Jeff Hardy out. So I'm assuming Jeff Hardy's probably going to call Roode out. But then Hardy and Roode are about to go at it. Then Aces and Eights, the members were Bully Ray, Wes Briscoe, and Garrett Bischoff come out. And Bully Ray says that is upset that none of the members of the Aces and Eights are in the Bound for Glory series. So he wants something done about it. Hogan says that there's one spot left, and he makes an Aces and Eight a battle royal with all the members of Aces and Eights. They're not champions, of course. And Bully Ray says that as typical Hogan, they're going to make them fight against each other. So then Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff go to take out Roode and Hardy. Roode and Hardy fight him off, and then Bobby Roode attacks Hardy from behind, and that's how the segment ended. So I'm glad that Roode and Hardy are in the bound. Well, I'm glad Roode's in it. Hardy I could give or take without, but Roode, I'm glad he's in it. That's good. Bad Influence are backstage. Christopher Daniels and Kazarian. They're talking about how they have an advantage because they are a tag team, and whoever wins the Bound for Glory series are gonna be great. So I don't really remember anything else they said, but that's what I remember. And then we get Bad Influence, Christopher Daniels and Kazarian versus Gunner and James Storm in a Bound for Glory series qualifying match. Okay match. They dominate Gunner for a while. Kazarian does a springboard flip kind of leg drop to Gunner to the back of the head, and then James Storm gets the hot tag. He goes for the last call super kick, but Kazarian's distracting the referee, and then Daniels hits him in the back of the head with the tag team championship, and Kazarian rolls up Storm for the win. So Bad Influence are actually into the Bound for Glory series. I actually wanted them to win this match, but I didn't think they would. I thought they were going to give it to Storm and Gunner, but I'm actually glad they did. And they can actually bring a lot of stuff to the Bound for Glory series. So I'm glad that Daniels and Kazarian actually won. So then Crimson returns. We haven't seen Crimson since Slammiversary last year. Well, I didn't watch it, but I remember that's when the last time you saw him. I think we saw him after, but I think that's the last time I remember seeing Crimson. He talks about he doesn't really say anything here. He said the guy asked him what he's doing, so then he's like, "I'm here," but he says more later. So then Velvet Sky backstage, and she has like a package with something in there, and she says it's just for Mickey James. So we're gonna find out what that is later. Then we get Crimson versus Joseph Park in the Bound for Glory series match. Crimson comes out and says that he was undefeated for 400, I think it was 470 days. I forget what it was, and he was gone for 12 months, and he's going to start back at the right track by getting into the Bound for Glory series and becoming the world champion. He pretty much just decimates Park here, but what kind of pissed me off is when Crimson went to run into Park's in the corner, and Joseph Park rolls him up for the win, and he wins the match. What the fuck? What the fuck are you thinking? What the fuck are you thinking? Are you guys high or something? Because I don't know what you're thinking. Why would you have Crimson come back? You could have had Crimson be like in the Bound for Glory series, unstoppable. But you don't do that. You decide to give it to Joseph Park, a guy that can't wrestle, and a guy that's probably not going and a guy that's not going to contribute shit in the TNA. If he wins the Bound for Glory series, fuck the Bound for Glory series. I'd rather see somebody else fucking win it. So yeah, fuck Crimson. No. Yeah, fuck Crimson losing and fuck Joseph Punk for winning. Mickey James is backstage and she's happy that she's gonna get a gift from Velvet Sky because she's a friend. That's really it. Bound for Glory ad, Velvet Sky promo. She comes out and she's gonna show Mickey James what she has. Mickey James comes out and she's flattered that she get the gift, even though Velvet Sky was the oh my gosh, my nose is so stuffy. Even though Velvet Sky was, I guess, the knockout of the month, but and she's just the champion. So, Velvet Sky says that there's her doctor cleared cleared to wrestle. But Velvet Mickey James says that it could just be fake. Anybody can fake a doctor's note. But then she also says that this says that you were cleared yesterday. But what about today? Mickey James cheap shots her. He puts her in this like Shop's Texas Cloverleaf crossface kind of move. So maybe they're gonna take Velvet off TV, or she's got for a couple weeks. I don't really know. So I think they're gonna go somewhere with this. Now Mickey James is officially a heel. Good stuff here. I don't think Mickey James has been heel since that Trish Stratus feud at WrestleMania 22. Oh, I thought I had to sneeze. Rampage Jackson's backstage is just kind of getting his chain together, getting his boots. Then it shows the World Heavyweight Championship match at Slammiversary. Then we get a Stin promo. With Stin, this was kind of like a fail. I think I was expecting something a little different. He comes out and talks about how Bully Ray retained the championship, and he can never have a World Heavyweight Championship match again. And all the other Isis and Eights are the one that beat him, but the TNA locker room never came out and saved him. But he said it was okay. I don't really know why he thinks it's okay. And then he says that Aces and Eights are like a family. They always ride together. But he never thought he'd have to go back here. Maybe he has to make a new mafia, a new main event mafia. Someone that's always going to be by his side. And the mafia, and he says that the mafia will rise and Aces and Eights will fall. So I guess he's going to bring in a new mafia. Maybe they're going to take him off TV, or they're going to show him trying to get maybe that mafia together and taking out the Aces and Eights. I don't really know who could be in this mafia. They could put. I just don't really know who could they put. Obviously, it does have to be new because I heard Kevin Nash was in it, and he's not even with the company anymore. They could. And Matt Morgan's a heel, so I don't really know where they're going with this. Then it shows us. Then we get a TNAShop.com ad. Shows Stin's promo. Oh wait, I think I missed a match. Oh, I missed something. Matt Morgan being backstage. Was before the Rampage Jackson stuff. He talks about how he is pissed that he talks about how Stin never really beat him. He just passed out. He couldn't pin him and he couldn't make him submit. And he's mad that he has to qualify for the Bound for Glory series. And he says that he's going to beat those guys because none of those guys can beat him. Then we get Magnus versus Rob Terry versus Matt Morgan versus Kenny King in a Bound for Glory series qualifying match. This wasn't really a fatal. It was a fatal. They announced it as a fatal 4-way, but it was more like a tag match between Rob Terry and Magnus versus Matt Morgan and Kenny King. I don't really get what it was. They just because Kenny King and Matt Morgan just dominate Rob Terry for a while. Then Magnus gets like a hot tag in and just cleans house. Hits an elbow on him. Kenny King hits like a big he hits an elbow on Kenny King. Rob Terry chokeslams Kenny King. Matt Morgan carbon footprints Kenny King, and then Magnus just hits a body slam on him. That's really it. I didn't really care if this was confusing. Then Eric Young's backstage. He's talking about his TV show, and he says that he's going to qualify for the Bound for Glory series against Austin Aries. Then it shows Rampage Jackson's debut. Now I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Eric Young with ODB versus Austin Aries in a Bound for Glory series match. During this, it shows like an episode of a show, I guess, where Eric Young and ODB meet in person, and they talk about. There was one interesting thing they actually brought up is they talk about how ODB and Eric Young have been the Knockout Tag Team Champions for a while, and they haven't defended them in like 6 months. Just kill the tag. Just get those tag team championships off them. They're not going to be defended anytime soon. But yeah. This match didn't really care for it. I just knew Aries was gonna win. He does win with the Brainbuster. So yeah, that's really all I want to say about that. Glad he's in it. I'm glad they put him in it. They got the head out of their asses right there. Ace and Nate's backstage, and Bully Ray's asking the members if they're through with the plan, and Doc's kind of like not really feel like going through with the plan, but he just kind of agrees with it, not willingly, but he does agree with it. So we don't really find out what the plan is until later. Then we get a Bound for Glory ad. Chris Sabin interview. He's talking about how whether or not he wants to give up the X Division Championship for a World Heavyweight Championship match down the road. So that's really what he is. He says he doesn't really know yet, but I don't know if they will do it because I think, and he actually does bring up an important fact how Aries was the one that injured him, and he actually is the one that became the world champion. So maybe I don't think they're gonna do anything with that. I just thought it was interesting that they mentioned that. And then we get an Aces and Eights Battle Royal in a Bound for Glory series match. So yeah, Anderson. The plan was, I guess, to have Anderson win, and not to like attack Anderson, just not do it physically. And Anderson's just kind of doing fingers of doom death to them. He's doing like the Force kind of. He has Devon go get the tables, but he accidentally goes over the top rope. The only one, and he tried to do stuff like that to Doc, but Doc didn't want to leave. I guess because he didn't want to give up. I can't like. This is what I think. I think it was because he didn't want to lose on purpose. He wanted to try to get a World Heavyweight Championship match. So Doc just attacks Anderson. I actually thought Doc was going to win the Battle Royal. Just because that's what I thought. But then I think somehow Anderson ends up getting him over the top rope. And then they kind of argue with Doc after. So I guess in the future they're going to probably... Doc will turn face and leave the Aces and Eights. And maybe he'll be in like maybe I'm thinking now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe he'll be the one that's in Stan's Mafia. Never know. Then Rampage Jackson and Kurt Angle are backstage. They're talking about how he needs to train with the best of them. Rampage Jackson's not going to be able to beat the TNA superstars overnight. That's pretty much what Angle says to him. Then another shop, TNA.com. Aces and Eights are backstage again. Oh my gosh, my nose is so stuffy. They talk, Bully Ray's upset. They're still upset with Doc, and Doc is wondering why he's not following through with the plan. And he says that Hulk Hogan's trying to do the same thing we've done to the TNA roster, to put them against each other, so he doesn't want to see that happen. Doc says he just wanted to step up to the plate. And Bully Ray says he appreciates that, but you got to stick to the plan. So Doc wants to take out AJ Styles, and Bully Ray approves it. So then it shows Stin's promo again. Then we get Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles in a Battle for Glory series match. Pretty good match here. AJ Styles does a drop kick to Angle into the announcer's table. Angle does a belly-to-belly suplex on the outside. Then Angle does some triple suplexes. Then he goes to hit the Angle Slam style. AJ Styles counters and does a kick to the head. And then Angle does hit it, but AJ Styles kicks out at the last second. And then he goes to do like a back. What's it called? Back suplex off the top rope, and AJ Styles lands on his feet. And then Angle gets sent into the turnbuckle. Aces and Eights to come out. Anderson's distracted the ref, and Doc and Knox trying to attack AJ Styles, but AJ Styles fights him off. And Angle fights off Anderson, and AJ Styles rolls him up and steals the victory. And then Ace assassinates him attack, and then Doc, Anderson, and Knox are attacking Anderson. But Rampage Jackson comes out and makes the save. That was fine with me. Didn't really, but so yeah. So the Battle for Glory, I'm just gonna give my thoughts. The Battle for Glory series is actually looking pretty good. I liked it better last year, but because I feel like there was kind of better wrestlers in there, I guess. But I like the fact that Aries is in it, Rude did it again, Hardy, I don't mind him in it. What else? Anderson, I like the fact that he's back in it. Who else is in it this year? AJ Styles, love the fact that he's in it. Jay Bradley could live without. Samoa Joe, I like the fact that he's in it. He's good. Magnus is good. Hernandez, I would have preferred Chavo in it because he's just a better wrestler. I'm trying to think of who else. Daniels and Kazarian, great guys to be in it. And Joseph Park. I'm not happy that he's in it. That just ruined it for me. So yeah, that's just my thoughts right there on the Battle for Glory series. So the guy that I want to win is probably AJ Styles. Because he has like the story behind it to win. Because he wasn't able to get the World Championship match for a year. I could see Bobby Roode winning it. Aries winning it. I could see Hardy winning it. I could probably see him being fucked and giving it to Joseph Park. I don't see Bradley winning it. Samoa Joe, Magnus, or Hernandez. I don't see them winning it. But I would be happy if Magnus and Joe won it. Hernandez, Bradley, depends on how. Yeah, I haven't really seen Bradley wrestle so that often. So now I'm gonna get to SmackDown from tonight. It's on June 24th. No, June 14th, 2013. Sorry, I don't know why, but I guess I'm allergic to YouTube today. So we get JBL and Michael Cole on commentary. Then Daniel Bryan comes out and cuts a promo. He talks about how he kind of gets a yes or no chant going, saying how he thought he would be world champion. Yes. Did he think he was going to lose it in 18 seconds? No. Did he think he would become tag team champions with any superstar on the roster? No. I mean, yes, he said yes to that. And did he think he would be tag team partners with Kane for 9 months? Yes. And then he talks about how and then he wants Kane to come out, so Kane comes out and he kind of covers his ears when the explosion goes off. Daniel Bryan says that he's moving on to better tag team partners. And he thinks that it would be the best thing to do. Kane wonders if he's breaking up with him, and he says yes because he is moving on. Because now that Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan are going to become the tag team champions, they won't be able to tag team anymore because they'll be teams with Randy Orton. And they said that they're gonna call themselves Team OK No. And then Kane says he was gonna do this. You already coming up with nicknames, and he said he would have done the same thing if he beats Dean Ambrose for the United States Championship. Daniel Bryan doesn't think it's gonna happen, and Kane asks why, and then Kane asks if he's calling him the weak link, and Daniel Bryan says that he's calling him the weak link. Then he goes to chokeslammer, but Randy Orton comes out. Randy Orton says that he needs Bryan 100% for the Shield this Sunday. So that Kane asks Randy Orton to stay out of it. Orton says no. Bryan says he didn't want him to stick up for him. They all argue. The Shield come on the Titantron, and they talk about how they're starting to believe in the Shield because they're all starting to argue, and then Bryan and Kane have never been able to beat him, and they're never going to figure out a way to beat him, and they're always going to lose. So, interesting stuff right there. Really enjoying that. So then, Sheamus is backstage, headed to his match. We get Antonio Cesaro versus Sheamus. Before the match, Damian Sandow comes out, and he talks about how Antonio Cesaro can speak 5 different languages, whereas Sheamus can barely speak 1, just like everybody else. And he says that at Payback Kickoff, he is going to beat Sheamus. And then he leaves. Sheamus and Cesaro have the match. It was a really good match. Cesaro does that gut wrench throw that he always does, and then on the outside, Sheamus throws Cesaro into the barricade, does like a last call throw, and then Cesaro's dominated. Drives Sheamus' shoulder first into the steel step, and his shoulder starts bleeding a little bit. And then he just stomps on him, and then Sheamus goes to does his comeback, but Antonio Cesaro does a clothesline. Sheamus then does the what's it called? What are these called? The beats. I'm gonna call them the beats. The clubs. They're called the clubs. And then he goes for the Celtic Cross, but then Cesaro does kind of like the wasteland move that Ray Barrett used to do, but it's like a different kind of move. But Sheamus kicks out of it. Then from out of nowhere, Sheamus hits the bro kick on Cesaro for the win. Pretty good match. I think they're gonna start. I think Cesaro at the next pay-per-view, which is Money in the Bank, Cesaro is going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. He'd be a great addition to have in it. I can see Cesaro being in it, but hopefully they do put him in it because I think they do have plans to use Cesaro in the future. I just think they're trying to find something for him, but I don't know what. But I think maybe they could put him. I think they're gonna maybe put him with Zeb Coulter right here because they did show Coulter on the app talking, so maybe that's what they're gonna do. Because Swagger's in, because if you don't know, Jack Swagger's injured for a couple. He's gonna be out for a couple weeks, so I'm thinking maybe they could make like a team between Cesaro and Swagger. Just a thought. Then we get a WWE Payback ad. Don't remember what they advertised. Then it shows the Wyatt family. Then we get Teddy Long backstage. He's talking to. I think he was talking to Booker T on the phone, and then he says that he's gonna have a burger. He goes to eat the burger, but Dolph Ziggler, Biggie Langston, and AJ come up, and Ziggler's happy that he's back. He says that he's the face of SmackDown. And then Dolph Ziggler says not happy that he has to compete in a tag team match 48 hours before his world title match. They leave. Teddy Long goes to eat his burger, but Biggie Langston comes up and just destroys the burger, and then he says that was a good eating right there. Well, I didn't even say that, but that's pretty much what he said. That's good eating right there, boy. But anyways, then Teddy Long gets like these sad puppy dog guys because he was mad he ate his Howden's burger because I guess they're supporting Howden's. So that was pretty funny. Oh, I forgot to mention, by the way, after Sheamus defeated Antonio Cesaro, Damian Sandow ambushed him from behind. So they're building up their match. Just the thought occurred to me now. Then we get the Great Khali with Natalya and Hornswoggle versus Heath Slater with Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre. A member of 3MB finally wins a match. Heath Slater beat him with a DDT clean. That is okay. I'm not going to really say that's awesome. I read on WrestlingTruth.com, though, that McIntyre wants to be a Paul Heyman guy. He wants out of 3MB, and I don't really blame him because he was doing, like, great things before. He was beaten, he was the Intercontinental Champion. Vince McMahon himself even called him the Chosen One, a future World Heavyweight Champion. And now he's in this. I definitely think, though, I don't think they should make him a Heyman guy, but get him out of 3MB. Mahal, too. Slater, fuck you. That's my opinion, though. Then it shows a WWE Rewind. It shows how Dolph Ziggler got his concussion. Then we get Alberto Del Rio and Chris Jericho versus Dolph Ziggler and Biggie Langston with AJ Lee at ringside. It was kind of one of those typical tag team matches where you didn't really care about it. That's really what this was right here. Del Rio just came in and did his comeback. Then the hot tag comeback. Langston clotheslines Ziggler. Jericho clotheslines Langston outside the ring. Ziggler drop kicks Jericho. Then Del Rio rolls up Ziggler for the win. Since Ziggler's probably going to retain the championship at the pay-per-view, this is fine with me. And then it shows like what the differences between Team Hono and Randy Orton. Chris Jericho interview, he talks about the epic matches between CM Punk, and he talks about how he's had some moments himself, like CM Punk in Chicago, like his debut. Paul Heyman comes up and wishes him luck, but as you say, luck is for losers, and they're going to lead a lot of it, because at the end of the match, they're going to announce the winner, the best in the world. Then Chris Jericho taps the microphone into Heyman's mouth, and then he says, pipe bomb. And then we get Oksana versus Caitlyn. Caitlyn just attacks Oksana and then slaps the ref. So and yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really care for that. I guess they're trying to hype up the Divas matches, I guess, which I kind of respect in. But I don't really. Eventually, this feud is gonna have to end, and then the Divas division will go back to the way it was, where it was doing shit. Um, and people are saying that if AJ Lee wins the title, that the Divas division will change. I honestly can't really. I honestly doubt that. I think that it's still gonna be the way it is because they don't have any divas anymore. I heard that Tamina had a concussion. But anyways, we get Curtis Axel with Paul Heyman versus Wade Barrett, and doing this, it shows a super bacon smash because this was kind of like one of those the Harden's burgers, and it showed Curtis Axel being added to the Intercontinental Championship match. Um, Wade Barrett tries to kind of, I guess, get out of the match by saying that he could injure Curtis Axel or Curtis Axel could injure him. So they want to wait until Sunday to fight, but they think about it. Miz says that that kind of comes out and he says that they're going to be a couple on Dancing with the Stars, so he chants for them to fight. Then they fight. Okay match. Uh, Axel bounces Barrett off the steps, and then he accidentally hits Miz on the outside. Then Barrett throws Axel in the win. Then when Barrett goes to get in the win, he gets hit with the neck breaker, and Axel wins the match. And then Miz hits the Skull Crusher finale on him. That was really it. I want Curtis Axel to win because I'm really a fan of him right now. So if he doesn't win, I kind of will be pissed. But if Barrett retains the championship, Axel will be pissed because I think he should do better things. I can see him putting it on Miz because he didn't only have it for one night and because he had to go make that movie. But I want Axel to win. I think he deserves it the best. Then it shows another Wyatt family video package. Looking forward to this team coming. And then we get the Shield versus Team Hono and Randy Orton. And doing this, it shows a WWE Payback ad twice. One, just for the hell of it, and two, hyping up the CM Punk and Chris Jericho match. I liked this match. And this match is very special at the end. But they dominate Bryan, and then Orton gets the hard tag. They dominate Orton. Kane gets the hard tag, and then he gets drop kicked by Ambrose, and then Bryan gets the hard tag. Takes out the Shield again. But then all the Shield members interfere and hits the RKO and Roman Reigns. And then Kane's about to chokeslam Ambrose on the outside, but Reigns goes for the spear through the barricade, but this time he misses. And then he chokeslams Ambrose into the timekeeper's area. And then Daniel Bryan gets powerbombed by Rollins, and then he goes to hit the high knee on him. Kane pushes him into Orton and hits the RKO, and then Bryan gets him in the no-lock. And then the Shield loses a match by submission. And I'm actually not mad that they lost, even though that they lost to a team like this, but it's not like it's a team. But right now, they'll use Daniel Bryan really well, and this actually can prove that he's not the weak link because he can say that he's the one that got the win on the Shield. So this actually can make Bryan look really good too because he beat the Shield. So the Shield lost. I'm actually I knew they were gonna, and plus they were gonna have to lose eventually, but I'm glad it was just someone like Daniel Bryan. And I think the Shield are probably all going to retain the titles anyway, so maybe that's why they did this. But I actually like how they made it like it was a big deal because the no music played and Lillian Garcia announced the first time ever the Shield lost, and then they announced who won. So I think I'm definitely going to remember this for a while, actually. They're using Daniel Bryan really well right now. I'm actually liking this. This is actually the best Daniel Bryan's looked in a while, actually. And I think actually after Sunday, we're going to see big things come from Daniel Bryan, I think. They're really using Bryan really well. And this is what they should have done. I actually think this is actually the perfect time. I knew something like this was going to happen, and I think they needed this. So I think eventually, this is actually going to lead to big things for Bryan. If you can have Brian be the one to get to lose to the Shield. Big things are coming for him. I thought the Wyatt family would be the ones to beat him, but I liked since they're like building up Brian right now. I think they're gonna go with this. Big things are gonna come for Daniel Bryan right now. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it for all these reviews. I am going to be announcing my 300th video. After I get this uploaded, I still have to write one person's name down and get it, cause I have it in a cup, but there's one of the pieces is too big, and every time I go to pick it, that piece gets picked. So that's not really fair. So I'm gonna try to find something that's big enough so that all of them have a chance to win. But until then, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. For those of you that have, sorry this is so long, but I wanted to get all these up. But that's pretty much it, guys. See you later.